Hello guys, and welcome on our new edition of Prague's tour guide. If you just came from the castle, like me, which is on the hill, you usually reach this place, which is called Klarov or Malostranska. There is a station over the subway, and we have a great suggestion for you where to go next, which will be the Wallenstein garden, what we're gonna see in today's video. So let's go! So Wallenstein Palace, with its garden, was founded in 1621 by one of the most powerful and richest men of the 17th century Europe, which was Albrecht from Wallenstein. He was so rich that he was able to buy out one palace, garden of a monastery, a brick factory, and 23 houses which he just tore down to build this amazing piece of a property together with its garden. Those days it was one of the luxurious places to live in the whole Czech kingdom, and it's actually one of the first Baroque palace structure in the whole Czechia in 17th century, and it is one of the largest palaces in Prague until these days. So a really nice piece of architecture we can see here. It's including garden, which is divided in a few different parts, including a lake, a maze from bushes, including a fake cave or artificial cave, a voliere with birds, and then place for concerts called Sala Terrana, and the actual palace. Today, since 1996, it's a Senate of Czech Republic. So today it's still used as a Senate, but the garden is open for public every day. Today they also have peacocks in the garden, which we can admire, and one of them is just right here. It's an albino peacock. They just live here naturally around the garden. So check out this boy. Hey! And in the man-made pond, they also have carps, the colorful ones and the normal wild carps, which we usually farm in a Czech land. Oh, you can hear the peacock now. They make really noisy sounds. Peacocks are nice protectors of the gardens because of that heavy noise. They can protect the garden as well against the burglars. The palace was so large that it also had its own horse riding school, which is the building behind me, but today is used as a public gallery. So if you'll be in Wallenstein garden, it's another option to do is visiting the gallery, which usually has inside displayed modern art. And let's go with me to see the whole garden, the entire place. If you look at the pond, in the middle of it is a statue of Hercules fighting a dragon. Back in the days in the 17th century, the nobility used to ride little boats around the pond. Next door is a glass house for tropical plants. In warm days of a summer, when you are hot from the city roads and the city sidewalks, it's a great place to calm down and relax a bit, to get more energy for discovering another pieces of Prague. So really a good place to go. So guys, now let's go to the other side of the garden. We're gonna go through the little natural maze. until we reach the famous view on Sala Terrana. We just reached the main part of the Wallenstein garden. Behind me you can see the famous Sala Terrana, which is this beautiful decorated dome. And Sala Terrana basically means a transition, it's from Latin, transition between the garden and the noble palace. As we walk through, we can notice a beautiful Baroque statues from a statue maker, sculptor, Adrian de Vries, who came from Netherlands. He was a main court sculptor of the Czech Emperor Rudolf II, who lived in a Prague castle, but after he passed away in 1612, Adrian de Vries became employed by Albrecht Wallenstein because he could afford him. He made for him those beautiful statues. For example, this one is Apollon. The statues are inspired by antique mythology. Bacchus or Venus or Neptune, the god of the seas. However, those statues were stolen by Swedish army in 1648 as they conquered the castle and the little water at the end of the 30 Years' War, and they actually never gave them back because the statues still remain in Sweden in the royal palace of the Swedish royal family, and the statues we see here are just copies. Well, Albrecht of Wallenstein came from a not very rich Czech noble family as a Protestant. Later on he turned, because of political reasons and because of political situation in those days Europe, he turned into Catholic, and he joined an army when he was young. So he had army and military experiences. Later on he joined a Euro trip, which was popular in the beginning of 17th century for the nobility here to travel around Europe, and he really loved Italy. That's the reason on his buildings and palaces there were a lot of Italians he recruited for the constructions because he loved Italian style. Later on, after he came back, he was going up a lot in the political ranking because he was very smart and we can say slick in his actions, and he managed to be a generalismus of the Austrian Catholic army. Generalismus means the supreme general, so the highest of all the generals. And interesting is he was the first guy ever who maintained a permanent army, standing army, we can say, which means that there was a permanent army which he was paying from the contributions of conquered lands. Basically, lands he conquered had to pay taxes, which financed his army. And since he did it as the first guy ever, later on it became popular to run a permanent army. However, he was so powerful in his later parts of life that he get not really good with the king, with the Emperor Ferdinand I, and it ended that the loyal men in the Wallenstein army, which were loyal to the Emperor, killed him. They assassinated him in 1634 in a town called Cheb, which is in Bohemia, where he was killed at the end of his life. Also, I wanted to say that later in his life he was affected by syphilis, which he attracted when he was in 20s. So his latest decisions were also affected by a bad disease which were hurting him a lot. Once he said that he would poison himself to get rid of the pain, but he is afraid of the devil in hell, so he was very religious as well. So that's about Wallenstein, and now let's go to see the famous artificial cave, or what is called grota. So guys, another part of the Wallenstein garden is so-called like mysterious part, because Albrecht he wanted that part of his garden would be kind of a mysterious, and what we can see here is like a artificial cave or volcanic wall. It's a very common question on our tour. It's like, what is this wall, or what is this about? He basically wanted people to ask about it, and they do it until today. Until today, many people just stare at this wall like, what's the purpose or what's the reason of it? It's just to make the garden more interesting. Interesting is that inside the dripstones, inside the stones, there are hidden sculptures of animals like snake or owl. They actually have real owls in a cage here. The aviary with the owls is here since beginning of the gardens as well. We don't know if Wallenstein had their owls, but they are here. Those ones we can see are here since 2002, and it's a eagle owl, actually the biggest owl which lives in a Czech nature. In Latin it's called bubo. Basically it's just a big ball of feathers, because as it's big it weighs only 2 kilos. Yeah, but they're beautiful creatures. So owls here in Wallenstein garden. So we are slowly going out of the Wallenstein garden. If you would like to, for example, go to a restrooms, public restrooms, here is a chance for 15 crowns and to refresh. And we're gonna walk around the Sala Terrana. Today it's used as a place for concerts as well. So you can see here from time to time, and inside the Sala Terrana, because Wallenstein, he was a soldier, he was an army leader. You can see there paintings from the antique Troy War, so military paintings inspired by antique. Yeah, here guys, I'm gonna show you a secret bench. Not many people know about this, because if you make trouble in the Wallenstein garden, the security will put you here and you must sit here quiet for 10 minutes and think about what you did. After that, you get released. No, I'm joking, for sure. So here is the exit of the garden. We're gonna go through and see the Senate. As well, notice over there are some painted windows. Because of the symmetry, sometimes on the buildings, you see that some windows are just painted. We just came to one of the courtyards of Wallenstein Palace, which today is a Senate, as I said, and I want to show you an interesting water pump. It really works, just one pump and the water comes out. So guys, we just appeared on the Wallenstein Square, which is the same name as the palace, and this is the end of our short video for today. So guys, thanks for watching. Again, don't forget to subscribe, and if you like, check our websites, lucytours.com, and we're looking forward to see you here in Prague. So take care, guys. Yeah guys, if you just walk the street next door of the Wallenstein garden, you appear in a place called Malostranská beseda, which used to be a former town hall of the area, Little Quarter, and they have a really good Pilsner Urquell, and they also cook good. So cheers! Good from a tank.